15-year-old child knew he was being dragged back into a house and was going to die.
It's not that I don't want to say it because I don't want to make myself seem guilty. I just don't really like saying it.
So did you shoot him?
Yes.
It is therefore ordered that you shall be put to death by electrocution and another prescribed by law, and that you shall be transferred to the custody of the warden. Mr. Bailey, Mrs. Pike,
Can I please have my mom before I go?
Mr. Bailey, please hold Miss Pike in the dock.
Please, let me just find my mom.
This is 18-year-old Krista Pike. On January 12, 1995, in a remote patch of the University of Tennessee's agricultural campus in Knoxville, as a Job Corps student, she carried out one of the most brutal murders in modern juvenile crime. Driven by a fierce and obsessive jealousy, Pike was convinced that 19-year-old Colleen Slemmer was trying to steal her boyfriend, 17-year-old Daryl Shipp. Angry and paranoid, Pike enlisted Shipp and their 18-year-old friend Shadala Peterson to lure Slemmer away from the Knoxville Job Corps Center. But upon reaching a secluded part of the woods, Pike led an assault on Slemmer, beating her, slicing her with a box cutter, and even carving a pentagram into her chest.
At first, I thought they just were scared. At first, from the jump, that's what I thought. But when we got up there, everything changed.
There was a picture that was cut on her chest. Who did that?
I didn't have that.
All right, don't tell me what it was.
It was,
The torture dragged on for approximately an hour before Slemmer died. Pike quickly bragged about the murder to other students, even showing a piece of Slemmer's skull as a souvenir. Word spread fast, and investigators were notified.
It did not involve a university student. It did not occur on the bike trail. It was not a random or a stranger-to-stranger incident. The motive of the crime appears to be a love triangle. It appears that both of the females involved had been involved with the 17-year-old male.
All three were arrested within 36 hours, with Pike giving detailed statements.
I knew exactly what I was doing. Everything that I did that night, I knew what I was doing. And I think I was taking things out on her that had happened to me years ago.
She was convicted of first-degree murder in 1996. During her trial, Pike showed little remorse, sometimes smiling, appearing cold and detached as prosecutors described the torture. However, her reaction during her sentencing was starkly different.
It is therefore ordered that you shall be put to death by electrocution. Mr. Bailey, Mrs. Pike,
Can I please have my mom before I go?
Mr. Bailey, please hold Miss Pike in the dock.
Please, let me just find my mom.
Please hold Miss Pike in the dock.
I love you. I love you too. And I love you too.
Pike was sentenced to death by electrocution, becoming the youngest woman on death row in the U.S. at the time. She remains the only woman on death row in Tennessee, her warrant set to be carried out September 30th, 2026, at the Riverbend Maximum Security Institution in Nashville. But that's not the only time a teenager got a life sentence for committing murder. This is 18-year-old Michael Bargo. In April 2011, in the quiet community of Summerfield, Florida, he orchestrated one of the most disturbing teen-on-teen murders in the state's history.
A 15-year-old child knew he was being dragged back into a house and was going to die.
The victim was 15-year-old Seath Jackson, a boy he saw as a romantic rival. Bargo and Bargo's girlfriend, Amber Wright, were entangled in a messy love triangle, creating resentment and violent obsession. Bargo used Amber to lure Seath to a home through text messages, pretending she wanted to talk. When Seath walked inside, Bargo, Amber, Amber's brother Kyle Hooper, and the home's owner, Charlie Ely, beat him violently before Bargo shot him multiple times.
A 15-year-old child knew he was being dragged back into a house and was going to die.
Police quickly suspected foul play when Seath went missing.
He hit him over the back of the head with a 2x4, and then they lifted him up, put him in a recliner, and then started basically talking trash to him. And then he said when he was tired of it, he pulled out a gun, just shot him 3 times.
All 5 were arrested within days, with Bargo identified as the mastermind. During his verdict, Bargo appeared angry, tense, and defiant. Bargo was sentenced to death in 2013. If you thought that was crazy, wait until you see this teenager who carried out one of the deadliest hate-motivated attacks in modern American history.
I went to that church in Charleston. I did it.
This is Dylan Roof. On June 17, 2015, inside the historic Emmanuel African Methodist Episcopal Church in Charleston, South Carolina, 21-year-old Dylan Roof killed multiple people. That evening, the church hosted its usual midweek Bible study, a small welcoming gathering that had been running for generations. Roof entered quietly, sitting among 9 African-American parishioners, including the senior pastor, Reverend Clementa C. Pinckney, who was also a South Carolina state senator. For nearly an hour, Roof listened as they prayed, but Roof arrived with a racist mission. Influenced by white supremacist ideology, he had spent months consuming extremist content, writing a manifesto, and telling investigators later that he hoped his actions would ignite a race war. Then, when the prayer session ended, he suddenly stood up, pulled out a gun, and started firing indiscriminately at the congregation.
I went to that church in Charleston. I did it.
Did what? Well, I know it's tough sometimes to say.
It's not that I don't want to say it because I don't want to make myself seem guilty. I just don't really like saying it.
So did you shoot him?
Yes.
What kind of gun did you use?
A Glock 45.
Okay.
The attack shocked the nation, and police launched a multi-state manhunt that would stretch on for hours. The next day, someone in North Carolina recognized his car and alerted police. He was arrested without incident. However, during his trial, Roof insisted on representing himself and showed no remorse for the victims or their families, and instead put on a flat expression. 5 years after Roof's crime shocked the nation, another horrific double murder would shake the country. This is Taylor Parker.
I found the woman this morning on the side of the road, and her baby had been removed from her body. And then you show up with a baby.
On October 9th, 2020, in New Boston, Texas, then 27-year-old Parker carried out one of the most chilling crimes in recent American history. For about 10 months, she had successfully convinced her boyfriend as well as close family and friends that she was pregnant. She had gone as far as attend doctor's appointments, produced ultrasounds, and held a baby shower. But none of it was real. It was all an elaborate plan to keep her boyfriend. And as her supposed due date grew nearer, Parker grew desperate. So that fateful morning, Parker drove to her friend, 21-year-old Reagan Hancock's place. Inside, she violently attacked a heavily pregnant Reagan, beating her in the head multiple times until she collapsed. Then, using a scalpel she had brought with her, Parker cut open Reagan's abdomen and removed the nearly full-term baby girl, Braxlyn Sage Hancock, and fled with her, leaving Reagan to bleed out on her living room floor.
What's your name?
Taylor Parker.
Taylor? Hey, my name's Chad Stansby. I'm a OSBI agent up here, and I heard you brought your baby in. Did you give birth on the side of the road or something?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Where was that here? In Curtin County?
No, it was in DeKalb.
DeKalb, down in Texas?
Yes, sir.
Oh, okay. So what happened this morning? Did you just go into labor on the side of the road or something?
No, I was supposed to ride with my fiance, and we own a hog buying facility, and we were gonna come through here, but I was having contractions and stuff and wasn't feeling good, so I stayed at home and told him we would just meet here after he dropped the hogs at 7.
However, hospital staff were suspicious when she was reluctant to be checked out by doctors.
The nurses said that you weren't wanting to let the doctor check you to make sure you weren't hemorrhaging or anything.
They did an ultrasound.
The hemorrhaging is the bleeding, whether you're passing clots or not passing clots. It's really good to have you checked for that, because I know I was passing massive clots and they were about to start giving me blood. That's why they're wanting to check out, any damage, and check to make sure you're not bleeding inside internally.
Eventually, doctors realized she hadn't in fact given birth, and her elaborate scheme fell apart.
Why did you tell the lady you were pregnant? It was just you wishful thinking, and you really just want to be pregnant that bad. What was the deal there? You feel movement? Made you think you were pregnant?
Something's wrong with me.
wrong with me? Because I've never been a bad person.
During her sentencing, Parker appeared remorseful as she wiped away tears, a stark contrast to the brutality of the attack that killed both mother and child. While Parker got a death sentence, this teen killer got not 1, but 6 consecutive life sentences. This is Russell Burl. On July 30th, 2012, inside an apartment on Providence's west side, then 16-year-old Burl carried out a triple murder that would make him one of Rhode Island's youngest defendants ever charged with such a brutal crime. Armed with a loaded 9mm Glock, along with 2 others, Quandle Husband and Donovan Hall, broke into Michael Martin's apartment with the plan of stealing marijuana and cash believed to be inside his home. However, when they knocked on the door that night, they expected to find only Martin. Burl shot Martin and his guest. There were also 3 young children in the apartment at the time, but they were luckily unharmed. Burl was arrested soon after the attack, with detectives identifying him as the gunman. During the trial, Burl remained quiet, showing minimal emotion as prosecutors described the killings. If you enjoyed this video, subscribe and check out the next one.